Hey guys, Time Repair bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Armoured Fields. Play face pointing in the north with El Dorado, playing as OKW. Straight away going for Luftwaffe ground forces. And from the south we have Felix, playing as Soviets, who's immediately gone for armored assault. In terms of rankings here, El Dorado rank 35, Felix rank 70. Tier 2 start here for Felix. Haven't seen this in a very, very long time. And for a double combat engineer tier 2. Make some setting up here. Gempire's quick to back off El Dorado. Fox Grenadiers though, can't escape it. Could maybe get off the extra bit of wire over there. Branching out to the side a touch now. Dorado's aggression getting shut down pretty hard. Generally, I feel like if you're going to make an aggressive play as OKW, you have to bring your first two Fox Grenadiers as well as Sternpire. Dorado setting that one Falk over to this side meant that it didn't have like one extra squad to potentially work a flank. But can still get some good results elsewhere on the map. Second conscript coming in for Felix. Getting pretty close to munitions for a flamethrower now as well. It's going to be a 4-folk start for El Dorado. Full wire off over here for Felix. And over here as well. Sandbags coming up. Quick retreat there. Still have to get past that maxim, but should only drop maybe one more model. He's in a good position here, but we're going to have to come around the long way. And I suppose if you're, playing like a machine gun start, it can help to have like these avenues blocked off. Less opportunities for your early machine gun to get flanked. Senior grenade out. No dodge. Yeah, just have to retreat at that point. I think Felix hoping that maybe he could stick around for long enough so that combat engineers could win this fight. Flamethrower is going to pop. Might allow the victory. Gonna get the decap on the cutoff over there. Yes. Dorado a little bit slow jumping out of cover. Takes a lot of damage from the flame, ends up losing that one. This managed to work its way down onto the fuel point as well, so Felix has a lot to reconnect at this stage. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised we only saw one maxim. I was expecting two.
We have now installed a field hospital at headquarters. Well done, comrades. Point is ours.
Mine, wire off. Looking good for Felix.
Objective secure. We will defend it to the death. Conscripts under attack! Bleeding, comrade!
Bad time to pack up the maxim, perhaps. Should allow Felix to win. There goes that mine. Actually kills his own wire. So, not the best. Road did have sweepers, didn't have them out though, so pays the price for that. Conscript should be able to win this, but a couple of them running onto the wrong side of cover there, not ideal. Could lead to a victory for the Sternpires. They're pretty good at this range. Looks like one model's targeting back here, but one model's targeting out the front, I think. It does end up winning, but ends up being more costly than it should have been. Maxim setting up. Oh, no suppression there for Felix. That's the feels bad man of the Maxim. Oftentimes doesn't get the suppression and with that like 1 1/4 burst like that. And El Dorado going to roll this into a flak half track. Pretty reasonable timing on the flaky as well, so Felix does have the rate intercept, would have heard that. Has not started up the Zis though, doesn't have tier 3 down either, so definitely needs a Zis.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Doesn't have anti-tank grenades either, so okay, there we go, Zis coming in now. Going for a double layer of sandbags over here, that's interesting.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
I think I've seen that before, but it's a decent idea from El Dorado, honestly. Kind of
Anti-tank gun is ready for
using the
action.
Soviet sandbags as well to fortify that position. Here comes the flak half track. Looking to bust through this wire, open up the fuel harass. Bring over the sweepers as well. Good play from El Dorado. This is nearby. Conscript's getting to cover first. Should be able to win this. Oh, but there the STGs pop and an incendiary grenade comes out. Felix should just run away at this point. Already at half health. Save the manpower. Gonna try to fight it though. The contract slowly getting to work here. The walls blocking a lot of that damage though. I can't believe they actually won that. Isn't any light cover out in the capture circle, I suppose, but thought that was a guaranteed win for El Dorado. Probably should have closed the distance, but oh well. Infantry support gun next for El Dorado. It's like not the best map for an ISG, but is up against your like the early Maxim, so you can understand why El Dorado went for it. Did expect Fallschirmjäger at this stage, but see what the ISG can do. Looks like Felix is going to go for a half track. Wonder if he's going to go for like a more support weapon focused style and use that as a reinforcement, or it's going to be the quad. Well, instantly got our answer. It's going to be the quad. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the quad up against the flak half track, especially when he could have got the T70 instead. Gets in there for a burst. El Dorado a little bit slow, making his Raketin. And didn't have any snaring squads nearby. If this was a T70, he could have just dived in and maybe even got the kill. That's just okay, quite far away from the action.
300 points stand between us and defeat.
Didn't move it at all either. I thought he'd try to bring it across.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
The peg gun is ready for orders.
Ken's out now. El Dorado looking to get his next tech truck up as well. So no Fallschirmjäger at all. A little bit surprising. It's generally one of the main reasons you pick this commander. You could still get them later on, but always better to try to get them as early as possible so you can start investing them up. Makes a big difference. Especially with Felix not having any elite infantry, no PPSH conscripts, no guards or shocks, no Dishka. Feels like it would be pretty effective to get a squad of Fallschirmjäger this game. Who wouldn't suffer too much, you know, before they got their second set of FG-42s. Because of the lacking anti-infantry of Felix.
HMG crew is ready.
Anyway, Raketin coming around the corner.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Some nice heavy cover positions here for Felix. Got the Zis barrage coming out as well. It does mean there's this not quite in position for the flat half track. Here it comes now. Dorado sees this. Dodging away now. Zis doesn't manage to shoot. Maybe had to reload after the Zis barrage. And Raketin doesn't miss. Oh boy. Ooh. A bit slow backing away there, Felix. Could have cost him. No attack ground opportunities there though, with the wall blocking the shots. Maxim is slowly working over there, but the heavy cover did allow El Dorado to cap that. Felix decapping on El Dorado's fuel. Meanwhile, on the other side, oh boy! Oh! It's like, this is gonna be crazy if he gets away, but wasn't to be.
All crews have been trained to repair damaged vehicles.
Can make use of the vehicle crew repairs now if he really wants to. Nice G getting to work on the Maxim on the far side. Knew that it was low. Conscripts are going to force that back. Second Raketin coming in for El Dorado. Felix doesn't have his tech up yet. We can see he's still quite far away from a medium tank. So he doesn't really need the second Raketin. But that's the thing about getting a second anti-tank gun at a phase like this. So it does give you a much better chance of killing your enemy's light vehicle as well. So kind of don't really get punished for going for a second AT gun early. And then it obviously performs very well once you hit the medium tank times as well. But you know, a lot of times, well, recently I've been playing, you know, a few of those Scott builds with the US forces, and quite often I see the second anti-tank gun out. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is like a really good timing for the Scott, because you can just you know, pick away at those team weapons from range now. Especially if my opponent was a little bit behind in fuel. So the medium tank's going to be coming out a touch later. That half track's been off the map for quite a long time as well, though. Requiring repairs. Do we have a second Maxim out from Felix also?
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Gun crew standing by.
We cover sandbags, a real nuisance for Felix. Could have, you know, run up there, maybe tried to throw out a Molotov. Conscripts are going to have trouble though without the 7th man. So it's under a bit of pressure here. Oh, trying to wire that off. Didn't get the decap and now could get wiped. Oh wow, and a Shrek from El Dorado as well. So he is loaded up on the anti-tank. Okay, and he's right about there for a Panzer IV now as well. This engagement not very good for Felix. A heavy cover working very well for El Dorado.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Felix also quite far behind on VPs at this stage. But, you know, we're getting into their phase. Soviets about to get the 7-man upgrade. It's going to boost up the strength of these conscripts a lot. And those Soviet team weapons are tough to kill. So, you know, it's ample opportunities for Felix to make a comeback. I'd rather playing it safe. Getting a bit of damage done, but getting out of there before the anti-tank gun has time to rotate.
Squad replenished. Field gun standing by. They've opened up on us.
Panzer IV about to pop out for El Dorado. It does have the armor bulletin on it as well. I remember when you used to stack bulletins. This was one of the most popular bulletins to stack for OKW. Boost up your Panzer IV's armor very, very high with 3 of those.
Panzer IV is ready for battle.
I haven't really seen too much since then. Felix doing a pretty good job of staying active with the mines.
We are losing territory.
I get into the phase where he just about
Ready for deployment.
has the planes unlocked though, so might want to consider saving some unis for that instead.
Supply sector under attack.
Okay, Panzer IV on the field now.
Supply sector.
T-34-85 about to pop out for Felix though as well, so T-34 hasn't really done too much in this window before the 85 arrives to counter it.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Still El Dorado in a commanding VP position. Here comes the T-34-85. Conscripts popping the upgrades. Pretty clumped up there, the Volksgrenadiers is. Yeah, you could see that one coming. Wonder if El Dorado couldn't hear the T-34 in the fog.
Double your efforts.
So great stuff for Felix, mounting this comeback. Easy wipe on the side. El Dorado has been limited in his effectiveness with the double Raketens. Maybe Felix has been more cautious with the quad as well. This stage, Felix doesn't have a read on what El Dorado's gone for. He hasn't used anything from his commander so far. But if he did know, perhaps he would just continue to play conservatively with the quad, so he could use it for anti-air later on for the airborne assault. That being said, you know, Valiant assault I think is just as good. Oh boy, well, there we go. El Dorado getting one back there. And that armor. Maybe it's the bulletin. Shrugging off 2 shots from the T-34-85. Even Stevens then on the squad wipes. El Dorado's already rebuilt his Volksgrenadiers, so interesting. He really wants the 4 Volks. Not going for Obers or Fallschirmjäger instead. This is right there. Shoots the sandbags though, missing opportunity on the flak. There it finally goes. Here comes the T-34 and there goes the flak. Dorado a little bit slow activating the smoke. Good timing on the push forwards from Felix with the T-34 from the side. And there we go. Big kill. That flak half track was really boxing Felix off the victory points. So that's a big kill. Still, points are draining against Felix. No machine gun in the center for El Dorado. So could get in there. Rebuild on the conscripts for Felix. He doesn't have the option of building any elite infantry, so that does make sense for him. He had 2 conscripts as well. So a third, helpful for the snares. And the sandbags. There we go, double kittens coming down. Lining up slightly into the retreat path of the T-34. No attack ground attempts there from El Dorado. I think he was desperately hoping that the accuracy shots would come through. Always good in those situations, just hold your anti-tank guns with the attack ground command ready. So if you see that they disappear into the fog just before your anti-tank gun gets the shot off, you can just activate the attack ground immediately. Not ideal, but it still takes like a tiny bit longer that way for the anti-tank attack ground shot to come through, but what can you do? Just, you know, hope to get lucky, I guess. But yeah, you kind of do want your anti-tank gun to have that chance of landing the accuracy shot. Okay, Sternpower's nice flank coming through. Open up the cap on that side. No, here comes the quad. You have the Shrek. And the 85's coming across here as well, pushing the Shrek model so it can't fire. Oh, hits the mine, didn't have the sweepers out. But the T-34 gets distracted, so that does allow the Sternpower to get away safely. El Dorado using those double kittens in combination. This barrage now onto the machine gun in the center. Quad switching sides though. Across, just shut down this harass. Well handled on the ranges there as well. Just having hiccups there for the 85, takes a lot of damage from the double kittens. 84 coming down for the quad. Here it comes. Quad doesn't get a running start either. Oh, doesn't notice this at all. That is mega dead. Shame to lose it, as I was saying. Does open up the airborne assault opportunities now for El Dorado. Doesn't have the planes to... the anti-air to shoot down the planes. Felix going to roll this into a second T-34-85. I was thinking, you know, while he still had the quad, maybe he could just go straight for the Katyusha at that stage, but... maybe without the quad to also assist against the infantry. He does need another T-34-85. Does mean that, you know, the double kitten plays will be very strong for El Dorado. T-34-85 heading down to the fuel. Into 4. Spots opportunity perhaps to push him while the 85's on the other side of the map. The kitten's looking maybe to cover the retreat path. Is this not really in position? But maybe the Panzer IV will continue on its path. Chase away this Maxim as well. Okay, it's coming back in to do exactly that. Meanwhile, the 85 coming in from the side. The double kittens are right there though. Perhaps the second T-34-85. Coming back early. Oh, the Rakin's packed up. Grenadiers could go down still. Okay, El Dorado hitting the retreat. That does mean the 85 could easily get the wipe on these Volksgrenadiers. Doesn't switch the focus fire though of the T-34-85. Panzer IV is there but bouncing. And there go the Volksgrenadiers. That's the perils of having both your anti-tank guns right next to each other. If they get caught out of position, they are quite vulnerable. Second T-34 coming in from the side. One assault dropped in by El Dorado. Probably should have activated this earlier. Looks like it's enough to stop the T-34s from chasing. This one going into hold fire so he can back away faster. And not reveal himself in the fog. This T-34 could perhaps take an anti-tank pass. Doesn't look like it's going to result in lethal damage though. You can see the vehicle crew repairs. Decent idea on that super low tank. Getting a little bit lucky, you know, bouncing a couple shots, keeping that Panzer IV alive. It's a close call. Just out here doing capping. Felix, you know, definitely needs to focus on those VPs.
Squad at full strength. Contact with the enemy.
Dorado still with so much munitions in reserve as well. We'll have another one as soon as it's come off cooldown. I definitely think El Dorado is underutilizing Valiant Assault. But maybe it's not quite as valuable when you don't have any elite infantry like Obers or Fallschirmjäger. Line planting interrupted there. El Dorado saving for the King Tiger, so not too far away from that now. Does have the King Tiger vet bulletin, so that's clearly a big part of his strategy. And, you know, once that King Tiger does get the spearhead mode, it is a real handful to deal with. Soviets probably have the easiest time of dealing with it, since a lot of vision options. Su-85 focus sight mode. Mortar flare, snipers. But still, there's plenty of white potential. T-34, very aggressive stuff here. Raketen missing though. Second T-34 coming in. Oh, miss again. Lucky break for El Dorado once more. It's T-34 hoping to stop this one going down, but the flak base actually taking care of it. So another lucky break for El Dorado. Bounced the killing shot. Combat engineers died over here as well. Felix tunnel visioned. Oh wow, squad died here as well on retreat just then. Lost both his engineers, no more repairs. And El Dorado has the King Tiger out. Whew, what a swing. Felix in a good position. Almost killing the Panzer IV. And then loses a T-34, both his combat engineers. He's going for a Zis at this timing. Definitely needs to be an Su-85 though.
Forces are capturing our supplies.
Shot from the KT. Just bouncing in return.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Tough for Felix. Can't afford to lose this VP. He's about to tick under 100. Tiger did back all the way out though. Does give time for the second Zis to get in position.
Yes, comrade.
Combat engineers are standing by.
Okay, pretty Good damage there from the double Zis. A lot of health damage on these conscripts though from their ISG. A steady performer, 18 kills, nearly Vet 5 now. Conscripts on retreat, don't want to get wiped by the King Tiger. Actually, I have 4 models, that amount of health. Quite susceptible to the KT and just blast them away. Ordinarily, the manpower bleed from the King Tiger can be pretty tough to deal with, but you know, Soviets pretty cheap to reinforce. It's a lot easier for them as well. KT repairing up at the mechanized truck at the moment. Dorado himself doesn't have anything providing sight. Could fire in some smoke bombs though. Cover the cap. Get some vision. As this starts up the barrage. Oh, Panzer IV bouncing. Oh, as this does fire off a shot right at absolute max range of the Panzer IV. This time not getting so lucky. Ends up going down. I would say that probably Dorado is underutilizing those smoke bombs as well as the Valiant Assault. So far the only thing he's used. Airborne Assault. No S-mines either. And Airborne Assault is kind of a poor substitute for Sector Assault.
Supply sector under attack.
Just Barrage trying to hit the Raket and does scatter very long and actually connect on it as well. KT not having much luck connecting at the moment. T-34 comes forwards, backed up by the AAT guns, looking to do some damage. Oof. KT's the one doing damage though. T-34, where's it going? I think at the amount of health he's at there, I think he would die to one KT shot. Hard to tell exactly, but
We have a new T-34
maybe not because it's a T-34-85. Maybe a regular T-34. So far, though, the double Raket positioning, I think, of Dorado hasn't been that strong. I don't think he's ever got decrewed on them, but neither of them have been Vet 2, in spite of having them now for... Maybe build the second one, like to maybe 12 minutes? So like 22 minutes, haven't hit Vet 2 yet. It's a bad sign for your anti-tank gun positioning. Dropping in the Airborne Assault. Doesn't really do anything. Don't have anything in here providing sight. Oh wow, and the Faltry Indies go down on retreat. I was not expecting that. Conscripts must have a good run of RNG. Felix going for a 76. So maybe he's planning a bit of ram action on the King Tiger. King Tiger has hit Vet. He's got the spearhead, so he's got the extra sight now. That is bad news for Felix. The King Tiger becomes so much more powerful. That Vet 1 ability, it's a real handful to deal with. Oh boy, we've got a Raketin and the Sternpire Shrek over here. It's the T-34 bitten off more than it can chew. Raketin misses. Shrek very slow to fire. But Felix has been, you know, pulling out a little bit of a lead, getting a wipe here or there. Dorado does have quite a lot of resources banked up. Maybe... Okay, gonna go for a rebuild on the P4. Big shot from the KT there. Completely shuts down the conscript aggression. T-34 coming in here. Backed up by the Zis, but the Zis a little bit far away. So he ends up taking a lot of damage. Doesn't do much in return. Needed that Zis to be up there a little bit earlier.
Ready for combat.
Another T-34 from Felix, so not going to go for, you know, the steady path of trying to vet up an SU-85, get its, you know, penetration and rate of fire bonuses to help tame the KT. Looks like he's planning for some mass T-34 flank action. There's a lot more potential to go wrong, especially with the airborne assaults. You know, as soon as Felix gets in deep with the T-34s, Dorado can just drop the airborne assault in a slightly defensive position. And Felix only has a short window before those anti-tank planes start to come in. As well as, you know, has to dodge the double anti-tank guns, Sternpire Shreks. It's a tall order. King Tiger just completely shutting down the central VP. It's really starting to roll now to Vet 2. Went from Vet 1 to Vet 2 super fast. Here we go, T-34's coming in. Getting some somewhat lucky pins on the front of the Panzer IV. Very slow rotation of the Raketen from Dorado, like glacial slow. Oh, and there we go. Felix gets the job done. In an awkward position though, has to back through the circle. Going to take an anti-tank pass. So the anti-tank plane's targeting the healthy T-34 and it avoids all the damage. Really bad tracking on it. T-34 does end up falling, but Volksgrenadiers go down all the way back here for Dorado somehow. Second T-34 escapes alive. Oh, there goes the ISG. Daring stuff here from Felix coming in, getting the D-crew. Raketen's coming up. This is bad news for Felix. Oof, big damage. His Vet 3 though is pretty fast on that now. Oh, but the King Tiger's going to have a window through here. Luckily for Felix, that misses. Only doing a tiny bit of AoE damage. The King Tiger not able to chase him down. Very lucky break for Felix though. Would have been a dead T-34-85 there. From the spearhead mode, causing some headaches for Felix. Kind of why handheld anti-tank not very effective against the King Tiger with the spearhead mode. Squads keep getting suppressed by it. Felix has done a very good job of shutting down the VP drain though. He's only drained about 10 points in the time Dorado's lost about 100. Dorado still has so many VPs left on the tank. Plenty of time to rebuild.
Continue the push. They are now at 100
Let's recruit the infantry support gun. Felix now ticking under 100 and is losing control over here as well. He's going to get quite low, maybe to around 70, maybe even touch below that. Oh, Or maybe not. Here comes the Maxim, actually earlier than I was expecting. This could be a prime time to fire off some smoke.
We are losing territory.
But yeah, Dorado really underutilizing the smoke. Sandbag's gone. So it only gets down to 90. 34 waiting on the flank. Could come through with another secure mode effort. Looks like Dorado is maybe going to split up his Rakitans now.
The sector is at risk.
Okay, Dorado dropping down the plains and looking to get aggressive. Got the King Tiger rolling forwards. Doesn't have much infantry support though to deal with the double AT guns. Goes the Maxim, quick to get decrewed. The squad will eventually come out of suppression. But the doubles this, they're both Vet 3. King Tiger taking a lot of damage as well. Good pin like so far. T-34 coming in from the side. 85 going to roll through as well. Pops the ram. Gets the penetration as well. Very good luck there for Felix. And pins then from the 85. Wow, that is really unlucky for Dorado. The King Tiger's armor just paper. That was Garbo. Was it like 375 armor? Oh, not quite enough. Just pinned by the ram. Pinned by the tanks, like an unusual amount. Pinned by the Zisses as well, more than I was expecting. That was really unfortunate for Dorado. Decent flank action from Felix. Saw the opportunity after Dorado hung in front of those AT guns a touch too long, but definitely a bit of bad fortune for Dorado. Now the IS-2 is on the field. Do still have those double Rakitans and they're both Vet 2. So it does have a decent option to fend off the IS-2. And Dorado building a Panzer IV at this time. I think that's a pretty big mistake. I think this should be a Panther. It's very close to the resources for a Panther. Because against the IS-2 and a Vet 3 T-3485, the Panzer IV is not going to last. And he doesn't have to get the Panzer IV for the anti-infantry. He can just rely on his double machine guns to kind of box Felix off the VPs while he builds back up. So I think this is a pretty big mistake building this Panzer IV for Dorado. Coming across. Oh, a little bit of rotation there. Oh my god, on every shot. Incredible. That's what you have to fear when you're up against those Vet 3 anti-tank guns. Really good rate of fire. Pretty good accuracy luck though, I'd say. Easily could have missed one shot. Oh well. Now Felix swarming in, looking to mop up Dorado's remains. Hoping to knock out the T-3485, it appears. Is one Faust enough to finish the job here? No. Faust, but I don't think it would have been enough anyway. I believe the COH2 Panzer IV, or Panzer Faust rather, does 80 damage still, so I think he has more than 20 health remaining. Shrek, though, hoping to finish the job. Here we go. He's going to get one shot. No, they're spinning around like idiots. Oh, there it goes, but no. Maybe that was an attack ground attempt. Nice 2. Doesn't chase in. I'll try to catch him on the other side. But yeah, El Dorado.
The pack gun is ready for orders.
It's another reason why the Panzer IV maybe not the best option compared to the Panther. The AA guns just mounting them in a couple of seconds. Didn't have much time to react. You could see Panzer IV was kind of like changing angles a little bit before it started reversing. And that little bit of a hesitation against the Vet 3 AT guns, that was enough to cost him the tank. So yeah, well, good comeback there from Felix. Definitely up against it. Bit of a shame not to see anything else from this commander from El Dorado, just the airborne assault. And this ability is, they're saying, worse than sector assault. So if you want to just use the big plane ability, scrap this. Go for the sector assault instead with our Overwatch. But yeah, some daring play here with the T-34s from Felix. Overall, I think, yeah, he got a little bit lucky, able to knock out the King Tiger right as it was, you know, just really starting to blast him. Vet 2 with the spearhead mode active. It easily could have gone south, and he could have like lost both of his T-34s and had no result. But you know, sometimes lucky, and that's the game we play. That's COH2. Well, anyway, guys, we'll wrap on that. If you like good game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye. Good luck.